First of all, I want to thank everyone. My name's Kennedy Adidotanade. I want to appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining me live on this video. Or at the same time, anytime you have opportunity of listening to me, I remain your son, I remain your brother, and a family and a lover of our great continent of Africa, our great country, Nigeria. My name's Kennedy Adidotan Alade, and as you continue in this video, I will be discussing on different topics that focus more on the aspect of our society as people, our society as nation, and at the same time, I will focus more on the aspect of where we need to understand what is going on within our society to be able to be better people, to be able to build a new world that our people can be proud of, and at the same time to be able to offer what I would call have a legacy that our family, our brothers, our countrymen and women can build on as we build a better society for them. But in building a better society, there are things that I need to know. By the grace of God, I've lived after, let me say, outside Africa for a couple of years, and I've seen things, and I've tried to understand. I've had arguments with people. I've had series of conversation with people. I've had series of discussion about Nigeria, about each country in Africa, about the Western world, about the culture in Africa, about the culture and the way of life in America, and I've been able to compare. When you have lived two different parts of the world, you will be able to compare what is here, and because you have had friends, you have had let me say colleagues at work or people you've gone to school together that come from other parts of the world, maybe from Asia, from Caribbean, from all these different places, then you can be able to see compare things, and you have heard about different things from different angles. It gives you an opportunity for you to be able to see how and why what we are doing is not properly done, or how and why what we have not been able to get some basic knowledge that we're supposed to have gotten over years, or how and why we have been able to miss some things that we have missed in our daily life, at the same time in our policy, in our political atmosphere as a country, and at the same time how and why we have been able to be living in a very backward situation in regards to Africa, and how and why our people, despite their education, have not been able to think twice, have not been able to reason within or reason without, and see how and why we need to change, we need to improve, we need to enhance, we need to increase, we need to empower ourselves to be able to be a better people, to be a better society, to be a better country, a better continent for our people. So on this, I'll be talking on different topics. I will be discussing different, let me say, points. Now, one of the first point is going to be democracy and the role of our people. You see, if you have been listening to my video over the last few years or few months, and I've been doing video about democracy. Democracy, I have. If you go to school in Africa, or if you go to school in Nigeria, they taught us democracy. They taught us democracy and how perfect it is. Yes, they taught us how people is the core of democracy, as it is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. Now, in having that definition, there is something that most part of the world, especially world outside United States, the world outside the Western world, do not really understand about democracy. And I'm not blaming them, because that they do not really understand, because they do not have the right knowledge. They do not have the right, let me say, the right concept about democracy. Democracy is a government of the people. First of all, it starts with the people. Government of the people, by the people, for the people. So now you cannot say you are practicing democracy when you say, okay, democracy, and you say, okay, during election, somebody now come to you and say, okay, take a bag of rice, take 2 naira, take $20, take $10,000, and say, okay, because I've given you this money, or I'm giving you this money now, you have the responsibility to vote and vote me. That is one thing that is happening in democracy across Africa, that especially in Nigeria, that is completely out of context of what democracy is. And you will see that when we are struggling, as we struggle as a country, we struggle as people, we struggle to survive every day. It is because we have not gotten something right. You vote a governor to office, the first priority of that governor is how to enrich himself or how to enrich herself. If you vote a president into the office, the first priority of that president is how to enrich himself or how to empower his own family, how to make sure every member of his family become the richest in the world or richest in that particular country. That is a mispriority. That is where we have missed a lot of things because we do not really understand what democracy is. Therefore, in the society of Africa, we have realized that the only way where we can be rich, we can be powerful in our own head is when we get to political office and become rich. You see, when we look at things, our people need to understand what democracy is. Therefore, you that is listening to me, you have a power to understand that democracy does not give that person in that office ultimate power. You are the one that gave him the power, and you are the one that have the right to be able to withdraw the power from him. And on that note, when you are voting people, you don't vote. You don't go to a polling booth because this guy gave me 5,000 naira. Oh, this guy gave me 100,000 naira. This guy, came to me and he gave me better something for me to pay my student school fee. It is the I was commenting on one of my brothers, Aliu. It was saying the dividend of democracy. There's nothing like dividend of democracy. It's because we do not have the right government. We do not have the right people in power. They're supposed to provide what is the better governance. A better governance come with road, better governance come with infrastructure, better governance come with good education, better governance come with healthcare, better governance come with everything. Nothing like dividend of democracy. It's basically because they do not provide better governance, which takes the people as the priority of government. There's nothing like dividends of democracy. A better governor can come through the military. A better governor can come through democracy. A better governor can come through any form. In China, there's no democracy in China, in my own opinion. Are they not having a better governor for their people? Are they not having a society that is working? In Russia, what do they practice? Their own democracy, right? There are places around the world where things work. You don't need to have democracy. That is what it means, a better governance. So when we do not have a better governance, now we have democracy. And because we have for over 30-something years of the military, now we have democracy, we should be expecting dividend of democracy. There's nothing like that. It's a mispriority. And I wish you all can understand. It's a mispriority. What we need to know as people, we have the responsibility to vote the right people into the position of power. And who is the right person to be in an office that can make you understand, or that can make you know better that you deserve more than what you get? Somebody you are voting into the office must not make himself first. The constituency where that person comes from is first priority. The people in that constituency is the first priority. And it's not the first priority when he says that, oh, I want to be giving my people bag of rice. I need 2 trailers of 2 truck or 2 trailers of loaded with rice, loaded with beans, because I want to feed my people with rice and beans. Oh, I want to be supplying my people with kerosene. All these things that I mentioned, once it's given to you, will it last? Will it take you for 4 years? You will eat that rice for 4 years? No, answer that question. Are you going to eat that rice for 4 years? Are you going to be consuming that petrol or that diesel or that kerosene for 4 years? Is he going to be providing food on your table every day? Will he pay your hospital bill when your daughter is sick, when your wife want to give birth and there's no hospital? With that for that bags of rice, will he provide that road? Will he make that road in your community? Will he ply the road between the community A to community B? With that bags of rice, do that. With that man you are voting, understand the core of what is needed in your society. So, my people, you need to know what you need to know for you to canvass, for you to ask for what you need in our society as African, for you to know what you need to ask for in our society as Nigerian, as Ghana, in Nigeria, in Cameroon, anywhere you are. You know, I've been talking about, the kind of government we have in Africa. And each time I educate, at the same time, I often say something. The role of our people in government, the same people that is talking today, like me, that as I'm talking now, many of them will be talking. When they get to that position, no more talk. All they are looking for is how to feed themselves. Now, I tell people, I remember back in college, in Kaduna Poly, I have a friend then, his name is Ezogene. We had a conversation then. And the conversation we had is this: what do you do? What do you do that one day that thing that you do will be making money for you instead of you running after money? So what I've realized in Africa, what I've realized in our people is that they want to do things that will make themselves to be running after money, but they don't understand that they need to have some ideas that will bring money to their table even when they are sleeping. So that is what we are missing. We are missing that in our society. So every time we are running after money, every time we are running after budget that was some money that was budgeted to our department. You see, permanent secretary that's supposed to manage a department. They will be stealing the government money. They will be paying their own children allowance. They will be paying their own children salary out of the money of the people. And the people will be jubilating. They will think they are rich. No, we all are foolish. How much is the salary of a permanent secretary? How much is the salary of a governor? So we miss these things. We do not understand. So they are in their own head. They think that, oh, I'm doing the right thing. I stole the money. I am paying my own children. I want them to have good life. They buy a car for them. They send them to the best school in the world. Lo and behold, these people, despite they are stealing money, they do not create any company. They do not invest money into the future that can generate money by itself. They have no focus, no vision. And all what they do was just to they want to continue to remain in power. They want to remain in power. They want to remain in an office. They will be changing age. I listened a few months ago when the Ondo State government changed age of some people above, maybe up to 70, to still be lecturing in college or whatever the law is, whatever the policy says. They will still be canvassed. Oh, make sure you increase the age. I still want to be here because what? One, they are stealing. Two, they have not planned for the future. Three, they have not actually given what is supposed to be given. They can rest assured that I've given my best. Now I can relax and say, no, the future is sure. They sat down in college. The professors are sitting down looking for bribes from the students. Okay. I was talking to two of my young ones in Nigeria, and I was asking them about their results. The two of them are going to Akumba. They are in Akumba there, and I was asking them how is your results last semester, and they want to write another exam for the next semester. And I was asking them, what about the result for last semester? I said the result is not out. Can you imagine? In 2000 and 2019, you did exam 3, 4, 5 months ago. The result is not out, and yet And yet we have people that still remain in the same analog mentality. We are still doing things the way it was done in 1960. We are still doing things the way it was done in 1990. We are still doing things the way it was done in 2000. We are in a computerized age where if you take exam today, you're supposed to know the result by tomorrow. Yet we think we are advancing. We are so dumb. We are so still at the position, and yet we are expecting a government that can perform. We are expecting a people that can be the best. No, we can't. Educated idiot. I'm sorry, I'm a Nigerian, but we need to start saying the truth. I will tell you a short story. Back to my days in Federal Poly Ado Ekiti. And that's why I'm telling that we are educated idiots. I was so sick in Federal Poly Ado. I was so sick. Some of my friends or some of my classmates will testify to what I'm telling you. I was so sick. And one day, I was in the class. His name is Karigidi. No, is it Karigidi? I've forgotten. Awoku, yes. I thought I heard that it's late now. The guy is dead. I don't know if it's true. His name is Awoku. And the HOD was Karigidi. These guys are so let me discuss Awoku as a person. Mr. Awoku was so stupid that yes, he's a professor, he's a lecturer that lectures. He has HND or whatever from FUTA, and he has BSc in FUTA, and he takes some classes, and he'll be looking for he'll be dating some of the classmates and try to tell his first day in our class, first day in the class. He was telling us young undergraduate, most of us, and then maybe most of the classmates then were 18, 19, 20, 21. He was telling them, oh, like as I see a class of 24, maybe 24 students. He said, oh, as I see now, almost half of you will carry my course. You have not actually taught. You have not taught a single class, and you have had a conclusion in your mind. You have concluded in your mind that half of the students that you have not taught will carry your course. That is what is happening across every school in Nigeria. That is what is happening across every college, every institution in Nigeria. And you thought that you're going to have a society? No, we can't. We can't have a good society when people like that occupy our institution. When people like that are the lecturers that are teaching our students. When people like that are the lecturers that are giving knowledge, fake knowledge to our people. So I'm calling on people that are in the position. I have an uncle that's in the position of chairman. I'm calling, investigate things in our colleges. Let's rebrand our colleges. Let's redraw the curriculum. Let's put better policy in place to ensure our lecturers give the right knowledge, pass across the right information. Go to class to give knowledge to the people, not just going there because you have now have opportunity to be a lecturer in a school. Then automatically you become a god. I also remember then this man. I love him actually. He's a very good teacher. He was taking us. I think advanced. Forgotten the name of the class those days. He's very good. He called himself Alpha and Omega of that particular course, but he is very good. He's gonna teach you. And almost everyone passes his classes. That is a different person. And we also have the HODs. They're always excited because half of the students in the department is not pass a class, and there's no penalty for it. That is what happened in the colleges. And this is where we learn something, we bring to the society after we have graduated. And we're expecting the people that have graduated within this kind of environment to come and participate in a society that is formed, that is civil, that is civic and properly cohesive, for us to have a good and a formidable society where we can be proud of. No, it cannot be possible. In the same time, during that same time, you will be hearing the people in accounting, people in administration, in what's called business administration, people in all these business classes. They will be proud that they are doing accounting now. They know how to balance account, and at the same time, they are now learning how to steal money. And the lecturer will be telling them, or will be giving them clue on, okay, if you want to balance the account and you don't want to balance this, how you balance it from here, balance it from here. Oh, an average man, an average person that studied accountancy, that is the psychological mindset that they have. And yet you are expecting them to come and participate in the society, in the company, and without stealing. And they will do their own at that job, and now they'll come to they will come to politics, and now they'll be bragging around. And yet we are expecting a better society. People. So Nigeria as a country, Africa as a continent, we have a big responsibility in our hands. Well, we need to change. We need to ensure that we give the right knowledge to our people, that the right people pass across or give the right knowledge to our people, feed them with what they need to know. Let us revamp our educational system for us to teach what is needed to build our continent, for us to teach what is needed to build our people, for us to teach what is needed to build a new generation of leaders, not the one we have been having over the last 50 years in Africa. We stole something from Britain, came and gave us. France came and gave us. You can see what France gave, the country that they colonized. They are still enslaving them to today. Now you are expecting a president in an Africa, in Anglophone, what they call it, Francophone country. You are expecting a country within the Francophone African country to be able to be better. No, they will not be better when they are still enslaved, when they still pay all their money to France. The same thing happened to people that were colonized by Belgium. Belgium is still control their resources. So what are we canvassing for? What are we asking? What are we educating for? Because if for us we want to have a better society, we need to correct everything that is wrong in our society, correct everything that is wrong in our education, everything that is wrong in our culture, that is wrong in our beliefs, our understanding, that is wrong, that we have been brainwashed across our country, across Africa, and yet we are expecting a better society. We can't have a better society, brothers and sisters. Everything that we learn from Britain, everything that we got from France, none of it can better us. None of it can make us to be good. Because we learned the wrong thing. They fed us with the wrong thing. And we have been passing the wrong thing across. The basic democracy we do understand. We do understand the role of people in democracy. All what we need is the role of godfatherism. All what we need is that, when it comes and give me rights, that's who I have to vote for. That is the problem we are having in our society. We do not have the right knowledge to know what democracy entails. And I've been saying, I will continue to say, that if you look at America today and you want to operate democracy the way America operates today, you will miss it. Because democracy in America today is not democracy. It's not. It's capitalism. So to understand what democracy, you have to go back to the forefathers in 1777, in 1780. What was done? What was the role of the people? And that is where we can practice democracy. So to have a functioning Nigeria, a functioning Africa, our people must now be re-enlightening. We'll have a kind of informal education for them to now know what is their role. How can we build this society? How can we build this new world? How can we build this new country that can function? That across everywhere we can function. The people must be enlightened. Our people must be free from the brainwash. They will come to you and say, "Oh, bro, because I'm Muslim, vote me, because if you vote the Christian." No, that's no Christianity, that's no Islam. None of the religion actually makes sense in democracy. None of the religion actually makes sense in development of a country. It is what your people say. It is what the people know. It is what everybody is contributing every day. Okay, somebody sit down in Senate, is doing his own thing. You sit down in your own house, you are doing the wrong thing. What do you think when you build? You build the wrong society, because the Senate does not build the society for you. The family build the society, and the society, the family dictate who represent them at the top. So, but when you have a wrong society, what are you expected to have at the top? A wrong person. That is the problem we are facing in Africa. That is the problem we are facing in Nigeria. We need to now start building a new society, from building our family, understanding what it takes, our responsibility as individual, our responsibility as a father, as a mother, as children, as students, as lawyers, as doctors, as professors, as college lecturers. We should know our responsibility. We should know why we are who and where we are. That is the problem. You go to college, I just mentioned, you go to college, they'll be looking for bribe before they can teach the first thing they're supposed to teach in class. You go to college, they'll be looking to sleep with women before they can allow them to pass. You can see with the research that was done by BBC a few months ago, that was released by BBC. You can see the menace in Unilag. And I've been saying that, I will continue to say, you can ask me, anyone that know me right from secondary school, I never believe in any of these colleges. I never believe in them. And I don't know why. I just don't believe in it. I'm intelligent enough, I'm brilliant enough to go to any college in the world. But I never believe in it. I something in me. Okay, this man was talking about Harvard, he was talking about Yale, was talking about Princeton. He was saying that all what they give to you is just crap. Nothing. None of what you are given can make you successful. You have to think outside. You have to release yourself from whatever you are given in the class for you to be successful in life. So you are a lawyer. Ganifa Amid did not rely on what he was taught in Nigeria before he became the world, or let me say, the renowned lawyer in Nigeria. He took what he studied, he left it aside and said, okay, this is what I want to focus on. That's how you could make it. And go around the world. Anyone that made it, you have to step outside that class and think logically and think critically for you to have what and who and what you want to become in life. That is democracy in Africa. That is democracy in Nigeria. That is the role and responsibility we need to play. That is the big thing that we need to focus on. The people have to be delivered from enslavement, have to be delivered from the so-called mindset. I don't know how to put it. Their mind have been so coerced that they don't even know what is right and what is wrong. All what they know is that, oh, when somebody give me 10 naira, oh yes, sir, you have a responsibility. But no, you don't. You don't. Our education is supposed to give us that we need to have common sense. No, an average man should have no common sense. Yes, they are graduates. You question status quo of things. You have the right to say no to things. You have the right to say yes. You have the right to demonstrate. But today, no. Everybody put their hand. Okay, let's continue. Oh my God. Fela have said it all. Fela said it all. Suffering and smiling because we have knowledge. We have education. We don't have knowledge. We have education, yet we don't have knowledge. We have education, but we don't have common sense. We don't know what is right, what is wrong. We don't know what we need to fight for. And if somebody is fighting, we will be going against them. Oligarchy have occupied every mind. Oh, when you are in that carcass, you will be part of them. When you are outside, you want to be your own. But when you join them, you keep quiet. You can imagine, despite all, over 200 million people controlled by just less than 5,000 people. If you calculate people that control Nigeria, they are less than 5,000. You can mention them in Ondo State. You can mention them. You can pinpoint them in Osun State. You can pinpoint them in Lagos. You can pinpoint them in Taraba. You can pinpoint them in Yola. You can pinpoint them in Enugu. You can pinpoint them in Port Harcourt. Who and why are they in that position? Because you fail to understand your responsibility. Because you do not understand what it takes for you to be the people that will give them the power. Stand and know what is right for you. Stand and know the essence of you in the democratic system. Democracy is the government of the people, by the people, and for the people. And we have seen over time that criminals becoming the leaders in our countries, people that are criminals, that we can point to records of criminality, but today they are being celebrated. It's that society. The same thing goes to schools. We remember those days. People that are courtiers, that they have done all kind of stuff. Today they are in the helm of the affair of our country, and yet we are expecting a better society. No, we can't. We can't until you know this, until you understand this, until you accept this and say, no, this has to change. We have to produce people, we have to produce leaders that have the mind to fix our society, that have the mind to give a better education, that have the mind to give a spirit, that have the mind to build a spirit for our people, our women, our children, that have the right to build the infrastructure, that have the mind to change the life of the people for today and in the future. That is what we need. Today, they will tell you to have policy in place. What is policy? Policy without enforcement is not policy. You know, I was listening to Barack Obama on the death of Jeremiah Kume. And you see Jeremiah Kume, and he was saying that, yeah, according to Kume, he said that when you do nothing, the result of doing nothing is nothing. The result of doing nothing is nothing. So when you fail to do something, I remember those days. I'm from Okavango in Ondo State. I remember those days, Baba Arewa. I remember those days, even my own father. Even when the king says something that is wrong, they will say, oh, king, no, that is not the way it's supposed to be. Our people deserve this, our people deserve that. That was what we knew about those people. That was what we knew about those fathers. They never had education. They were never professors. They were never lawyers. But they know the right thing. They were farmers. Wretched farmers. But they know the right thing. They have the common sense. But we went to school. We have all the degrees. But we trade our common sense for foolishness. And you come to the society and say you want to do better. No, it cannot be better. It can't. Because you have traded our common sense for stupidity. Common sense. You don't learn common sense in school. You don't. You were born with common sense. You are supposed to reason outside the box every second and reason, think. Question things. Don't just accept all things. Even the Bible says it. The Bible says it. Don't accept all things. But in our society in Africa, in our society in Nigeria, we believe that when somebody come and is riding that big car, that is when he needs to be celebrated. Oh, when there's somebody come and he's telling us, he's giving us food to eat, oh, he needs to be celebrated. Even though he's a criminal, we don't care. Justice. There's no justice. No justice in Nigeria. People just, there's no separation of power according to the democracy definition. There's no separation of power. The executive control the judiciary. Judiciary does not even know what to do. You know, the legislature are just there like a steel chair. They don't even know their responsibility. You can imagine, because we do not know. We have no democracy, and I've been saying we have no constitution. So when the constitution have not defined something, when the people have not defined something, we need a constitution. What does the judiciary do? What does the legislature do? What is the role of executive as defined by the people? But unfortunately, our people have not defined anything. That is why judiciary will not work, legislature will not work, nothing will work in Nigeria. Until we, the people, stand to say, this is the way we want to go. This is the way we want to be governed. This is how we want to be. We want to be directed. This is the path we want to follow. This is who and how they can be our leaders. But we have never had that, and yet we are conversing for a better governance. We can never have a better governance. Write it down. Until we, the people across the whole nook and cranny of Nigeria, from north to east, from south to east, from north to west, from south to east, from every nook and cranny of Nigeria, stand to say, this is how we want to be governed. The poor village in Maiduguri, doesn't know anything about about power, doesn't know anything about road, doesn't know anything about what is going on in the Senate. No, he doesn't. Because the man that is representing them after that vote that day, he never come back. The poor village in the eastern Nigeria, in Ebonyi, does he know anything about that? No. Because that man that represents them does not know anything. He never come back. That local government that is collecting taxes, does the people in that local government know how much tax the local government is getting? Do they know how much the money is and what the money is spent on? No, they don't know because they don't understand. Does that little local government in Ondo State, does he know how much the local government is making from its people? No, they don't know. There's no data for it. Yet they are saying they don't have money, even though they have enough that the local government chairman is stealing. Yet you are saying you lose the dividend of democracy. Dividend of democracy coming from where? You need a responsibility to know from your house to the local government. You have a role to play. You need to question the local chairman, the councillors. They have a role to play. You need to question everyone that is a secretary in this local government. You need to question them to know what they are doing, the role they are playing in stealing our money, in making our money, whatever they are doing. That is your responsibility in democracy. Yet we are conversing, we need better governance. Better governance stands from every house to the local government, to the community, to the government, to the local government, to the state, from the state to the federal. But when we do not have it from that small local government, what are you expecting from the federal? When somebody that the kings in local government are part of the people that are stealing the local government money, and yet you are saying, oh, the president is not doing anything. What is your local government chairman doing? How has he allocated how each community benefit from the tax that they get? I remember those days they will come to the market, they will give tickets 5 naira, 10 naira. Those women, those hardworking women, they will pay judiciously, happily. They will pay. Most of those money never go back to the government. They were stolen by the people that was collecting the money, or stolen by their managers. And yet they'll be building houses. People will be celebrating these building houses, not knowing that it's stealing their own money to build house. It's stealing their own money to buy cars. That is the society we are. And until we change, until we know you cannot change, and I'm telling you for you to know where we start to question our people from each home, to the kings, to the local government chairman, to the councillors. Everyone should be questioned. That is democracy. You don't just sit down expecting somebody from the rep to come down. When we play our role from the homes, we play to the community, we play to the local government. It becomes so difficult for that man that calls himself a rep, for that man that is called a senator, for him to steal your money, for him to go and never come back to do something, because he knows that my people, if I do not do this is what will happen. Done that. Democracy. Excuse me. That is democracy. Here in the United States, where everyone is, oh, democracy like the United States. Yes, it's not perfect. Yes, it has changed compared to what was done by the forefathers. Yet you can see what is going on in America today. It has changed because the people has been so occupied with their jobs. They fail to adhere to their responsibility in democracy. Yes, that is the problem. That is the challenge we have in democracy. And that is why Africa is not working. Because what we practice today, the kind of democracy we have, is according to what is happening in America today. According to what is happening in America in the last 20 years, which is different from what has happened, which is completely different from what was defined by the forefathers. Yes, there are errors. Yes, there are imperfection. But if that of imperfection we can have 75% perfection in Africa, Africa will be the pride of the world. We can start to say, here we are, we stand as a people. But today we don't have up to 20%. We don't have. We don't have up to 20%. So we need to stand to define what we want. Let me get to the next topic. Governance and the need of independent research to aid performance. Governance and the role of independent research that will aid performance. You see, in the United States, I've had opportunity of meeting people, opportunity of discussing with people, an opportunity of reading, of doing research, personal research stuff. I realized that in this country, a lot of policies are pushed, not because of people that are in the Senate, they are so smart. No, they are not smart. No. There is a private sector. Let me call independent body. Let me call it independent body that involve in some, let me say, individualistic research about when they see a trend of things happening, and they will now looking at, okay, how do we change this? They involve in this research. They write, let me call a well-documented strategical initiative, and they can now pass that across to the senator. Give to the senator. The senator will now, maybe based on one particular consistency, they will read, they will research, they will now understand, oh, wow, this is how it's going to, this is how this thing is affecting our people, that's how we don't change it. Then we need to make a policy, we need to make a new law. That is how and why America is performing. They don't just rely on, oh, now we have democracy. Oh, we have this local government. Oh, sorry, we have this parastatal. We have Department of Justice. We have Department of Energy. Department of Energy, don't be surprised. Many of them go to work like normally the way you and myself, all of you go to work in Africa. An average federal government job in the United States is the same as average federal government job in Nigeria or in Ghana. Yes. But these people are involved. The private body are involved to do those researches. They may partner with colleges, they may partner with Harvard, they may partner with Yale, they may partner with all these present institutions. But they will bring their research to the table, to the government, and say, okay, this, what, and this, and that, and that. If we implement this, what is going to happen? And if it's engineering, they would have designed it. They will bring it to the Department of Defense. No, this engineering work, if we incorporate into defense, this is what it's going to do. This the result is going to come. But in Nigeria, that is the issue. In Africa, do we have that? No. Even if we do, everything is now bribery and corruption. If you do not give me certain amount of money, I will not bring your policy to the table. That is why we are not growing. That's why there's no change. That's why we are not developing. That's why we stand still over the last 50 years. That's why, what am I saying? We are going backward over the last 50 years. The road that we were having, the school that we were having, the hospital are gone because we were backward. We now have something to take us forward. And this individual, or let me say independent research, they are thinkers. They are not just people that are just looking to just get money. They are thinkers. They want to bring their thinking and bring to the table to change the society. And I'm saying that in Africa, in Nigeria, we need thinkers as leaders. We don't need somebody that's going to hire a 10, 20 advisor. Advisor for what? Advisor for what? Common sense. That is the problem we are having. Independent research that can foster performance of government. Independent research bodies. Across energy, in energy, in power, in education, in all forms of society structure where they can bring ideas to the table. The next point I'm going to talk about is the need to revamp the core of our culture and our values. The need to revamp the core of our culture and our values. You see, let me tell you one thing. By the grace of God, I believe in Christ. I love Jesus. I'm a child of God. And you understand, and I will make this very, very, a little bit broad. When you look at people, I've been thinking about this thing since 1998. I've been trying to connect the dots. Connecting the dots in the sense that when I try to connect the dots in within Africa, what we lost. Our forefathers was taken as slaves. Don't be so surprised that when they were taken as slaves, people that was taken as slaves were the strong ones. They did not take the feeble ones. They did not take people that they see that it doesn't have energy. They were taken, captured as slaves and brought to the Western world. Many of them, came. But do you know one thing? When they were coming, they gave to us that, oh, we have this religion different from your religion. All of you are the children of the lesser gods. That we with this skin, we have better skin. They say, okay, they have better skin than the African skin. That they have better God. But one thing I've gone to realize that even Jesus, that was that was painted to us as a white man is a black man. That is first thing, on one side. Jesus himself is a black man, but because they want to deceive the rest of the world, they now say, how could the world believe in a black man when we are white people? Yes, but in the world we are living today, that is maybe, I don't know how long that is been, but now we are here. We are educated. We are able to go to Google and research and learn and read. But yet our people are so confused. Yet the Bible said a lot of things. One day I was the place where I teach, we're there in Georgia, and one day I was talking to one of my colleagues. It's a white lady, very, very, very wonderful lady, and I asked her some questions in the Bible. She says she doesn't know. I said, that is the Bible, and she's holding a Bible in her hand. I said, she doesn't know. I said, that is in Old Testament. Go to the Old Testament. Oh, you say, oh, in America, oh, they don't read the Old Testament. That doesn't make sense to them. That what? The Old Testament does not make sense to them. But as an African, Old Testament makes sense to me more than the New Testament. Let's take Jesus out of the picture. Let's go into detail of Old Testament. Everything in Old Testament in the Bible is as what is happening in Africa today. Is as what is happening in Yoruba culture today. That is Old Testament. Now, when I start now, compare things, start to reason out. Many people will say, oh, when you are reading the Bible, don't reason. No, you reason, you think, you question things. So I started reasoning out that, okay, as African, this is how we practice this. This is how this is being practiced. Now we have Jesus that even was given to us, preached to us as a white man, or as a Caucasian, but I now got to know, or we all got to know that is a black man. But in our own culture as an African, in our own culture as a Yoruba man, there is Ifa, there is Tongo, there is Ogun, there is these people. That our people believe that in their own, they are not God. They are just a channel to God. And in our own culture, we believe there is God Almighty that is called Eledumare, and there is Ifa that is used to consult the God. Now, someone now came to you and give you Bible and condemn what you have. But I now look at it from in the perspective of one, if people in Asia, a Chinese man does not believe in any God, and they are able to transform their society from not believing God. And God in heaven did not come and say, oh, because he's not believing me, I'm going to destroy you all. No, he doesn't. Yet, today, as I'm talking to you, they have the second best economy in the world. And the way the world is going to, if America is not careful, they are going to be the people that have the best economy in the world, and the competition will be so fierce because they have the population, they have the infrastructure, they have the technology. So what do they need? They need nobody. Forget it. Now, on that note, let's now go to Africa. We have a culture, we have a value, we have religion that our forefathers were practicing, that define that you cannot steal. In my culture, you cannot steal somebody's things. You can die for it if you steal. But today, stealing is a norm on the street because we lost what our fathers were practicing. In those days, you don't need to say, oh, I need police. You don't need police to guide anything because if you take it, you'll be in trouble. They brought to us, oh, now, if anything happens, go and report to the police. And police is already there to collect bribe. Or police is there to come to do some investigation. Even in America, police, there is corruption. So what are we saying? We need to step back, take all good in our culture, take all good in our father's religion, inculcate it into what we need to have as people, and look at the future. What do we want to see in the future? I will tell you a short story. If you don't know me, I'm going to tell this story again. My father, by the grace of God, is almost 103 years of age. Right now, he's still living. He told us the children. He said some years ago, before he got married, it's my grandmother, by that time, is one of the rich people, the so-called rich, because this woman has built an upstairs since 1930 something. So she was rich. So, and she wants her own little daughter to marry to another rich family. So, and my dad, my mom and my dad, they are from the same street. This woman knows my dad very well. My dad's parents have died long ago. So he's like a poor guy on the street. So, and my mom said, oh, he's gonna marry him. Excuse me. And the mother refused that no, that is not possible. I have a rich family in another street that I want to get married to. And my mom said no. So, yes, the old woman said, okay, oh, son, you want to marry my daughter? Go and consult Ifa. Ifa is an oracle in Yoruba culture. That when you want to know what is happening, what's going to happen in future, if you are an American friend, if you are friends from anywhere in the world that you are listening to me, there's something called Ifa. Ifa is an oracle. Ifa is used to consult God. And thank you so much, my sister, to consult God. And they went. My father said, oh, he went home and he doesn't have a mother. He doesn't have a father. There's no one to represent him to go to consult Ifa. And he himself does not believe in anything. He doesn't believe in Christianity or Muslim or Ifa. He doesn't believe in anything. So he just went back to Mama the following day. Mama, I've gone to Ifa. Ifa told me that, yes, all is well. The mama did not believe him. So what did the mama do? The mama went to Ifa himself. He went to a priest of Ifa about herself. When he got to the priest of Ifa, he went with, in Yoruba religion, you represent people with stick or with stone or with anything. You can say, oh, this person, this stone, his name is this. And once you say the name is this, that by that religion they can identify what is going to happen to that person through that stone or through that wood or whatever you bring to the Ifa oracle. So he brought 3 sticks to the Ifa priest. Ifa said, oh, look at the 3 sticks. Take this one that you called, he doesn't know, I don't remember the name of the person. Just close your eyes and throw that stick away. The old woman did that same and he threw it away. He has 2 people left. He said, oh, these 2 people, the one you really want your daughter to marry. Oh, today will be so great. They will have a wonderful money. They will have a great money. But you know what? The night is so dark. The night is so wretched. The night is full of evil. That was the woman. That was the man. My grandma wanted my mother to get married to. But here is my father. My father, he said, oh, this man, the money is so dirty. The money might look so unright. The money, this is today, that right now, the first 10 years of their marriage, the first 20 years of their marriage might look so rough. But the night is so bright. The night is so bright. The night is so bright. And this old woman came back home and told her daughter, that, oh, daughter, I've gone to search. I've gone to ask the oracle. This is what the oracle said. Today, as I'm talking to you, that is exactly what happened. By the grace of Almighty God, by the grace of Eledumare. Eledumare is the Almighty God in Yoruba religion. So why do we manage? How do we manage to trash the values in who we are? How do we manage to believe in what does not make sense to us? How do we manage to run after things that is not actually real? How do we manage to throw things away that we're supposed to cherish? In Yoruba religion, they believe that it's Jesus. In Yoruba religion, the name of Jesus is not Jesus. In fact, in reality, Jesus is never the name of Jesus. But today we call him Jesus. In Yoruba religion, it's Koela. It's the name that is it has been. We believe that religion believe in that. But do you know that as Yoruba man? Do you know that as African? Do you know that even you are Yoruba woman? Despite that is the religion of your forefathers, it was taken away from you because they don't want you to know the values that you carry. Today, people do things the way they like. They want to have a better future, but they don't even know how to ask for. They will run to a prophet. They will run to a priest that don't know nothing. There are prophets, even Yoruba religion. The Ifa priests are prophets. Even Yoruba, that's why I tell you, I said, when you look at the religion in the world, Yoruba people has the highest number of prophets in the world. Yoruba people has the highest number of prophets in the world. Why? Because it's the core of our culture. It's the core of our values. When I came to this country and somebody was telling me that, do you know that Africans are actually the Jews? I'm not doubting it. I didn't doubt it a second. I didn't. A second. I did not doubt it. Because I've been able to think, why do we have all these? Why are this uniqueness in us? Why? Africans. He mentioned West Africans. That's what the guy said. He's an African American. He told me that in fact, he wrote a book. I have a book that he wrote, that West Africans are actually the Jews that the Bible mentioned. So over 400 years we have been here. Over 400 years we have been brainwashed. Over 400 years we have been in dilemma of who we are, what have been of us. Over 400 years you have been enslaved in our mind, in our concept. Over 400 years you have been foolish. We have been so dumb. We do not ask questions. We do not try to trace our steps to know who we are, what we are. And yet we want a better society. We can't. We cannot have a better society. When somebody believes in Islam and believes in Christian, they are fighting. And Ifa does not fight anybody. Why you must take my religion? Oh, I must kill you, because no religion in the world, any religion that is trying to kill other religion, is all complete brainwash. It's not meant to enlighten the people. It's not meant to make the people free. It's meant to control. It's meant to enslave. That is the fact. Being Muslim or being Christian or being any religion. Have you ever seen a Buddhist in India running? Oh, if you don't take my religion, I will kill you. They will not allow your religion. But they will not be going to other country and say, okay, come to my country and come and be killing people. Start addressing the truth in our society, then we can have a better society. Revamp our cultures. Revamp our values across every nook and cranny of Africa. That is when we can get it right. Because we are training, we are running after religion that is all brainwashed. They tell you things that they themselves never do. And yet, all of you sit down there crying. Say, oh, you're going running to the mountains. And what is the core of what you're supposed to know about yourself for you to stop running? In Yoruba, we say that if you know the way you're supposed to go, you will not run water scatter looking for it. When a child is born in Yoruba religion, they can tell what that child will become. And they can guide the parents what the parent must do. I'm a testimony of what I'm telling you if you don't understand. The next topic is the need to celebrate honesty, integrity, kindness, and hard work. You see in our society today in Africa, or in say Nigeria, or Yoruba people, we lost everything. We lost everything. We used to have values. We used to have integrity. We used to celebrate kindness. We used to celebrate honesty. But today we celebrate criminality because they have money, because they are in position of power. And yet we need better society. Oh, we're looking for better society. We can't. When the kings that are supposed to stand for the people are celebrating criminality. When the Obas that are supposed to stand for justice are celebrating corruption, what do you have? You cannot have a better society. In Ifa religion, I will tell you a short story again. In Ifa religion, if somebody wants to become a king, they will consult Ifa. In Yoruba religion, sorry. Ifa will tell the right person to be the king. But in the last 50 years, we have changed from that path. In the last 100 years, we have changed from that path. Oh, because he knows one godfather somewhere. Oh, he must be the king in that community. Because he knows the governor. What do we have after that? We have instability in those communities. We have backward in those communities. We have corruption. Everything has been crushed in those communities because the person that have been elected, that have been selected by the Almighty, the person that have been chosen by the Eledumare himself, you have rejected the person, and yet you look and think that all will be well. No, all will not be well because you have been foolish. All will not be well. We need to retrace our steps. We need to know what we lost and try to get it back and try to see how do we build, how do we reform our culture, How do we reform our form of religion? How do we reform it? Even Jesus is in that religion. How do we make our people to know? An average man on the street does not know. That's why we throw away values, honesty, integrity. That there's no penalty. They can do anything. But in that religion, you cannot do anything you like. There is penalty for it. In my own community, that even they don't even need to run after you. You by yourself, you will die. Because it's part of the core that established that community. If you do any evil in my community, no, just a matter of time, you are going to die. That is the core, and that is our value. So to build a better world in Africa, we need to respect, we need to give honor to our culture, we need to respect our values, we need to celebrate our values. We do not depend on the white man in the Western world to come and dictate what we have to do. I will give you one thing that we read in history in Nigeria. They mentioned somebody called Maurice Lesser. And my father, no, yes, my father said, oh, yes, they used to kill the twins. I disagree with him. I said, no, Dad, no, that's not true. If they used to kill the twins, where does the what's it called? Eulogy for the twins, where does it come from? All those praise for the king, Ejimbalbi Bayo, where does it come from? That is not true. That is not true. Those are the things they use to brainwash our people after they have taken our fathers into slavery. We need to deliver ourselves from brainwash and set ourselves free. We need to think. We need to reason with ourselves and believe we are so called in human. We are so called in spirituality that we have to believe what does not make sense. Only if you understand. We need to celebrate honesty amongst our society. We need to go back to celebrate integrity. We need to go back and celebrate values. We need to go back and celebrate kindness in our society. We need to go back and reject criminality. We need to go back and say no to any form of evil in our society. That is the only way we can stand. We need to go back and say no to people that collect bribe, that are corrupt, that are making our people to look foolish in the eyes of the world. We need to reject it. We need to stand across every nook and cranny of Africa, from north to south, from east to west, from every nook and cranny of every country. We need to stand on the truth of our people, on the values that we have had even before we were colonized. France sit down there and enslaving our people after they got independence, that they are still enslaving them. Contributing trillions to this colonial master. They are still contributing trillions to them. In Nigeria, they are still controlling our oil. In Africa, every nook and cranny, they control everything. They are the external force that put gun on their head. They could not do anything, because if they do, they're going to be killed. And yet our people does not know. Yet we sit down, oh, the government is not performing. How will they perform? How will they perform? When they say corruption, they will be blaming our people they are corrupt. But they open their bank in Europe. They open their bank in Singapore. They open their bank in Czech, collecting the money that are stolen. Yet there's law in banks. Corruption. There's law against anti-money laundering. Oh, is those laws not effective? Is this laws not working? They travel, those people stole money, they travel to their country. They give them prestigious welcome, even though they know they are criminals. Is that part of a society that they want to build? Because that is what they want. That is what they expected, so that they don't want us to grow. So if they are indeed want Africa to be free, then they need to support the converse. They need to support and converse and make sure they have a society that does not welcome corrupt money. But yet, they stole all our money, are stolen and are kept in their banks. They used to transact business. France is using the money and giving back to those countries 20%. And they will now be telling them, okay, if that 20% they don't perform, you are going to be in trouble. And yet you expect them to perform. No, they can never perform until we start questioning our people. The last thing I'm going to talk about is the tax. The taxes. You know, Internal revenue is a key aspect of any government. Internal revenue is the core for you to be able to build a better society. You are seeing in Africa, you are seeing in Nigeria, from local government, from the community, they collect taxes. I think I've spoken about this. They collect taxes. For example, I'm from Okawakoko in Edo State. The tax that is gotten from Akoko Northwest, what does people know about it? The taxes they get from the local, this poor woman, let's talk poor women that go to the market. They charge them 5 naira, 10 naira, 100 naira. Which pocket does it end into? Which bank account? Does the government actually know how much money was realized? So I think it is a high time for our kings, our community leaders, to be honest to the people, to see things and address it the way it is. And it's the responsibility of the people now to stand up to question them. That this has to change. I've witnessed this since I've been a child, and yet nothing has changed. They've been collecting taxes in Okiagbe market since I was a child, since I graduated, grown old. What have that tax been used for? The salary they are paying salary with the allowance that is coming from the state, in my own opinion. So if the tax has been gotten, what are they using the taxes for? In the last 20 to 30 years, what has the money been spent on? Question. So this is where I'm going to end it, my conversations with you today. My brother, my sisters, we have a responsibility across everywhere where we come from. If you are coming from the north, you come from the south, you come from the east or the west. If you are from Africa, anywhere you come from in Africa, we have a bigger responsibility. And the bigger responsibility is, first of all, is to enlighten our people, make them to know the core, the essence of their responsibility in democracy. And an aspect of that, we need to understand the importance of independent research in governance. Then we need to know that we need to celebrate our culture, our value. To be a better, hard work must be celebrated in our community, in our society, for all to be a better people and to build a better society. Reject criminality. And the last of all that I spoke about is the tax in our countries. How are tax being managed? How does the people manage the tax? How does people question people in government or in offices to know what their tax is used for? These are things we do not do. And I believe that if we put all these things into our mind, and today standing up to say, no, this is the way we want this to go, we will have a better society in Africa. We have a better society across every country. We have a better society in the continent that's the most richest in the world. We have a better society where our people can be the core, the driver of our existence, the core and the driver of our development, the core and the driver of our performance. Because we, the people, we have the right to build a new world. Thank you so much. My names again are Kennedy Adeotun Alade. Thank you, and I appreciate you all. God bless Africa. God bless Nigeria. God bless our people. Amen.